I'm Janet Szabo, and I'm here at Camas Creek Yarn today to demonstrate the finishing technique known as mattress stitch. Mattress stitch allows you to put an invisible seam in your knitting, so when you have to sew two pieces of knitting together, it'll make it look like one piece of knitting. It's a very useful technique. Let's get started. To begin a seam, we're going to use the tail of what was left when you finished knitting the hat. So you'll want to leave at least 8 to 10 inches, preferably 12 inches. I'm going to thread a tapestry needle with my working yarn, and I really like the bent point on these tapestry needles because it makes the seaming a lot easier. So I'll thread this, and I'm going to look for the bar between the first two knit stitches, and this is easier to see in a close-up shot. I'm going to look for the first two stitches on the edge of my hat. So I have a stitch here and a stitch here. And what I'm looking for is a bar that runs between those two stitches. So I'm going to insert the tip of my needle between those two stitches and find the bar and pull the yarn through. Now I'll look for the corresponding bar on this side of the hat, and I'll insert the needle under that bar and pull the yarn through. And I'm simply going to go back and forth on each side and go underneath the bar, pull the yarn through, come back to the other side, insert the needle under the bar and pull it through. And I'll continue to do this on each side alternately. Until I've done maybe a ½ an inch worth of stitches, and then I'll gently pull the yarn and snug the stitches up next to each other. When this is repeated down the edge of the hat, you'll have an invisible seam that you won't be able to see. So I've sewn a little bit further on the hat, and you can see that when I pull the yarn tightly, the stitches snug up together, and it's very difficult to see that there's a seam there. It looks like an unbroken line of stitches. And that's the magic of mattress stitch, that you can sew an invisible seam and you have the work facing you at all times. So if it looks like you're making a mistake, it's easy to stop and take it out and redo it. When you've completed your seam and you're at the bottom of the hat, you'll simply want to fasten off your yarn and darn in the end as you normally would. Wasn't that easy? You'll find lots of uses for mattress stitch in your knitting, so it's a good skill to master. Thanks for watching. This technique and many others are detailed in my book, The I Hate to Finish Sweaters Guide to Finishing Sweaters. It's available at Camas Creek Yarn and can be ordered from camascreekyarn.com. I'm Janet Szabo of Big Sky Knitting Designs. Thanks for watching.